The EU has moved quickly to satisfy Ukraine's huge demand for artillery shells. On Thursday, leaders signed off on a $2 billion deal. $1 billion to pay member states to send Ukraine 1 million shells in the next 12 months. The other $1 billion to increase production to replenish their own stockpiles.
Ukraine is fighting for our basic values, and we need to make sure that we can supply them with the arms so that they can succeed in this fight.
It will be a challenge. Raw materials are scarce and prices are high. Today, a single 155mm shell costs $900, 20% higher than before the war, and Ukraine is using between 4,000 to 7,000 a day. The Ukrainian president joined the summit by video call from a train somewhere in Ukraine. He urged a faster transfer of long-range weapons and told leaders of the devastation he has seen on the front lines. On Thursday, he also went to Kherson in southern Ukraine. It was liberated from Russian occupation in November last year. There's a lot of rebuilding to do, particularly on electricity and water supply. The decision to send shells to Ukraine will stretch the EU's ability for joint procurement. And it's a huge change for an organisation that was once seen as the centrepiece of a European peace project. But the war in Ukraine has changed many things, including how the European Union thinks about defence. The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres was also in Brussels. He wants the EU to relax sanctions which affect the supply of fertiliser from Belarus, one of the world's biggest exporters, but also Russia's closest ally. He says the sanctions are sending up food prices in Africa, but some EU states are sceptical.
The aggressor only hears and understands strength. If we weaken the sanctions, we go with their narrative, and we shouldn't do that. It's not the question of the sanctions, it's a question of Russia's action.
On Thursday, Slovakia announced that it sent its first 4 MiG-29 fighter jets to Ukraine. The rest will be delivered within the next few weeks. In Bakhmut, Western intelligence sees signs of Russia's offensive slowing down. And the boss of the Russian Wagner mercenary group released this video on Thursday. In it, Yevgeny Prigozhin says Ukraine has reinforced its forces near Bakhmut and may counterattack soon. If they do, they may well use shells supplied by the EU. Simon McGregor-Wood, TRT World, Brussels.